Hi everyone! So today, as you can see, I am just sitting here and facing the camera to talk, and that's kind of different from what I usually do, which is like a vlog type of video, so the camera is usually not pointing at my face. And today I just wanted to kind of talk about my wedding planning experience. So apologies in advance if I'm a little bit awkward because I'm honestly still not very used to having and talking in front of a camera. I remember when I was starting the process of researching and looking for answers, I had to do a lot of research on YouTube and even on Google search to find out ways to not only save money but to also find a wedding venue that kind of fits my needs. And everybody has a different type of style of wedding they want. They have a different number of guests that they may want, but I want to share my experience because hopefully my experience and my the things that I've learned will hopefully help other people who are trying to plan a wedding. So just to give a quick background, I am currently located in New York City and I wanted to get married either in Long Island or upstate New York. So not too far away from the five boroughs, I would say. The first thing that I did was try to come up with a budget. And to be very honest and just sharing my honest experience and opinion here, that did not work for me. And that was actually a tip that I saw a lot online, which was to make a budget. And I think that could be a very good tip if you're someone who probably already knew and did some research beforehand and knew how much things would be, but I didn't know. And then number two, what I did was look for a wedding venue. So what I did was go on the knot.com. So I started off at the Knot by choosing reception venues and looking into those. So for me, I wanted to look for reception venues in Long Island, let's say, for example. So you can just simply put that in there. And as you can see, there are a bunch of filters that you can choose. So for me, I wanted something that wasn't too pricey. So those are the two filters I put for the price. Then I wanted something with an outdoor space because I wanted to walk outdoors for my ceremony. You can also filter by guest capacity, and interestingly enough, there's also something called support diversity. So if you want to support an Asian-owned business, for example, you do have the option to filter through that. There's a bunch more filters here, such as distance and the venue type. I don't think I went that into detail, but these are the results of my search. So going through the list, you can probably narrow it down to a few that you like by looking at pictures online, going on Instagram, etc. What I did was I used Excel, put a bunch of venues that I was interested in. Then I literally would either call or email the person in charge. And I think being specific is good because if you're not specific, they're going to come back to you asking those questions anyways. So I would highly recommend you to put the month and the day that you're interested in getting married, the number of guests that you are looking to invite and have. And I was able to compile a list with the venue name and the approximate price because usually what they would do is they will give you a breakdown of the pricing. It could be pricing by guest or even some sort of wedding package, which I would highly recommend looking into as well because I chose to have a wedding package, which saved me a little bit of money, and also I think it would save you some time with planning as well, depending on the type of package they provide. So after choosing a venue, I wanted to look for a wedding dress and wedding decor. And I used this website called Taobao, which has a lot of different things to buy. There are clothing, there are house decor, wedding decor, house storage, a lot of random things and honestly kind of useful things. But as you can see, it's all in Chinese. So if you cannot read Chinese, then it might be a little difficult for you. So what I had to do was go on Google Translate and translate, for example, wedding dress, which is fansa. So that's what I put to find my wedding dresses. Now, I hit this page because I don't have a Taobao account, and I believe you need like a Chinese phone number to have an account. So again, I really, wasn't really able to use it, but fortunately my husband and his brother was able to help me. So this is actually one of the wedding dresses I actually wore during the wedding and for photos. So I would highly recommend you to go through a lot of the reviews, the photos, and all the information they have for you, because you want to make sure the dress fits. And keep in mind that Asian sizing is very different from American sizing. Like, I'm usually a size extra small, but I couldn't fit small. And here I am trying to convert the currency, which is in yuan. And as you can see here, for this particular dress, it was $68, which is really freaking cheap. And you can't even rent a wedding dress here in New York for that cheap. And this dress is so beautiful and so unique. So this is definitely a steal. And, if you're super interested in this dress after watching, I can totally link you. But again, you're going to need some help. And I can't read Chinese, so I can't really help you. But yeah, definitely go through all the information. Here are the reviews, and fortunately, a lot of them have pictures. So I was able to tell that, this dress in real life would look pretty similar to what was in the stock photos, because, these are real photos of real people. So I brought this dress, and I have to say I was really, really impressed with the quality, with how it looked, and it was just so beautiful. Now, yeah, I was here just kind of going through the different information that I couldn't read, just to show you guys what they have on the website. And again, make sure you measure yourself. For this particular dress, and I think really for any dress on this website, they should have like a measurement chart or a sizing chart for you to measure and make sure you're buying the right size. Okay, here you go. So as you can see, you're gonna have to convert again, because these are all in centimeters and kilograms. And here in America, if you are in America like me, you need to convert that to feet and inches. And here it shows you how to measure. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So just play around with this. I can honestly spend hours on this website because there are so many beautiful things. Now here is kind of like the English version of Taobao. It's called AliExpress, and things also ship from China. But this is so much more user-friendly because they have the website in different languages, including English. So it's so much more easier to navigate than Taobao. And it's kind of the same thing. You can buy a variety of things, including clothing. And here you can see just a bunch of random things like night lights, towels, etc. So here you can just type in wedding dress, and bam, here are all the wedding dresses they have to offer. Now, I did notice, I feel like the prices here might be a little bit more expensive, or pretty much the same though. Like, it's definitely still cheaper than if you went out to buy it from a bridal store. So this dress is super pretty. So I just kind of clicked on the first option. As you can see here, they have stock photos, and they also have different options. Like, you can buy this in short sleeve, long sleeve, and you can even customize it, which was actually the same for my other dress from Taobao, but I couldn't show you guys because I couldn't find the link to that dress anymore. But anyways, here are customer reviews. Again, very similar to Taobao. There are people who post real pictures of themselves, so you can kind of tell if this is what you're looking for or not. And yeah, again, definitely do a lot of research and just compare a lot of dresses, compare a lot of, even different websites to find the dress that you want. Now, I also brought a lot of wedding decor. For example, my Mr. and Mrs. sign, like the wooden decor that I put on my days table, that was from AliExpress. Now, if I could find it, I can't find the exact same one right now, but as you can see here, the prices are really cheap. So much more cheaper than if you went out. Oh, and I also brought these stickers because of AliExpress, because I saw this picture and I thought it was such a good idea to make a welcome sign with a mirror and some adhesive stickers. So that's exactly what I did. I took my mirror, I brought the stickers, and here you can see they have instructions, they have different sizes, and they tell you how to purchase it, because you're gonna have to customize the letters, obviously, and the colors. So yeah, it's pretty good, pretty descriptive. You can't really go wrong with it unless they send you the wrong thing, which I haven't experienced yet. So AliExpress is definitely another website I would recommend you utilizing if you're trying to save money on wedding decor or even wedding dresses. Oh, here I am looking for wedding veils. So my wedding veils, I brought 3 in total, I believe, and I brought them from Taobao and not AliExpress, but since they're pretty similar, I'm gonna use AliExpress. So These kind of veils you can honestly find in a lot of places, but not for this price. As you can see here, it's super cheap and super pretty, and it has really, really good reviews. So besides my wedding dress, I went to Taobao for my wedding veil. But I see really pretty ones on AliExpress as well. So yeah, this is exactly why I could spend hours on this website, because there's just so many beautiful wedding decor and wedding dresses, wedding accessories that you can find on this website for such a good price. You're definitely going to save money if you use these sites. So I would also suggest using sites such as Poshmark and even eBay. And I actually use both of these sites, but I'm just going to use Poshmark for now. And Poshmark sells a lot of clothing that are used, but also brand new. So I was able to find one of my wedding dresses brand new with tags from this website. So here I'm looking for Lulu's wedding dress, which is the brand of the wedding dress that I was wearing. And here you can see so many options, so many filters, and filter as much as you can so that you can specify your search more. And I'm just going to pop in and say eBay is really nice as well. There's a lot of used and new items there as well. And eBay is actually where I brought my wedding heels. I'm just going to put a quick picture here. And these are brand new and they're so beautiful. I don't even think I included it in the cost of my wedding because they cost me I think only $30, which is such a steal. Just wanted to kind of show a quick I guess view of this dress in person. So it's kind of long, as you can see, and excuse my messy room, but this is kind of like my work room, office. So, and the material is really nice, guys. I don't know if you can really see it on the camera, but this is really good quality. It really does give you that heart shape at the top. I didn't button all the buttons at the top, so it might be hard to see. This is like a tight fitting dress, and I honestly thought I would break it by accident, but I stretched it, I bent in it, I sat in it, and it has not broken, nothing ripped at all. This is the one that I brought from Taobao, and I couldn't find a link to it, but there are a lot of similar ones on Taobao and AliExpress as well. So I just wanted to quickly show you the wedding veils that I got from Taobao, and they're such good quality and so beautiful, guys. Unfortunately, I didn't wear this particular one, but I did wear this one with the pearls. It's a little wrinkly because I kind of just stashed it in the box, but so pretty, guys, and I got it for so cheap. This one I didn't get to wear as well, but it came with the big wedding dress. It has a very simple design. And last but not least, I didn't get to wear this one as well, but it has these flowers that are folded. So another tip that I do want to share is around the timing of your wedding date. And yes, by the way, I know I look very different because I have a different outfit and I'm not wearing my makeup, I'm wearing my glasses, but that is because I am not a pro and I couldn't film everything in one go. So anyways, back to the topic, timing. So I saved money by choosing a wedding date on a Sunday. Now, I think you'll save money as long as you choose any other day besides Saturday, which is the most popular day to get married, because it's the weekend. And even though Sunday is a weekend, but people have work the next day, and I didn't want to push it too far by choosing a weekday, because I would feel bad if my friends and family had to take off from work, or if they had to rush to get back home after work to make it to the wedding celebration. So I didn't choose a weekday, and I chose a Sunday, and the price for Sunday was cheaper than the price for Saturday. Now, in addition to choosing a Sunday, I also saved money by choosing a date that was within the same year that I chose the wedding venue. Now, most people will, choose a date that is at least a year later so that they have more time to plan. But usually venues should give you a cheaper they should give you a cheaper price if you choose a date that's only a few months away, because they would rather have that time filled and booked instead of having it empty. So I chose my venue, I think in April or May, and my wedding was in October. So I had around 6 months to plan, which is definitely doable. Now, here comes the big question of how much did I spend on my wedding? So to answer that question, I'll break down the price in different sections. So let me start with the actual wedding package. So this wedding package included music. So this included a one-man DJ slash MC combo for 4 hours, and they gave me a choice of 3 different vendors. My suggestion is that you would only need one guy or woman to be your DJ slash MC. Unless you have like a really big party. I don't know. But for me, I found that one guy was enough. They did try to ask me to hire another person so that I would have one DJ and one MC. I found that unnecessary. So if you're trying to save money, one person is enough. It also included photography. So I had one photographer who was there for 8 hours, and I found that to be enough. I mean, I know a lot of people hire videographers or even 2 photographers, but I thought one guy was enough. It also came with a wedding cake. So for the wedding cake, I was able to only choose from one bakery, but that bakery had so many different types of cakes, different flavors, limo. So I honestly didn't think it was necessary to have a limo. And you know, I didn't have a limo throughout the whole day, but I had the limo drive me, my bridesmaids, my mom, and my mother-in-law to the venue. And even though I say it's unnecessary, I'm not gonna lie, it was a really cool and nice experience because that was the first time that I sat in such a nice limo. And since it was part of the package, why not? So if you're trying to save money, I would kind of recommend you to kind of opt out of that, unless you really want to try that experience. Flowers. So it didn't include all the flowers that I ordered, but it included a good amount of flowers. So it would include my bridal bouquet, maid of honor bouquet, the groom's boutonniere, the best man's boutonniere, and I don't know if I'm actually pronouncing that right, and also 10 centerpieces. So besides the basic wedding package, I also paid a little extra for additional add-ons. For example, for the wedding cake, I paid an additional $125 because I wanted to have a cake that was more unique. The cake that I requested looks like this, so I just sent them a screenshot of what I was looking for, and you know, they were able to do it, but it was an additional cost because of the ombre effect and how much cream it would take to have that effect, etc. But I wanted it to look pretty, so I was willing to pay that amount. I also paid extra for the flowers, especially since number one, the package only included the maid of honor bouquet and I needed one more bouquet. And number two, because I wanted like the different sort of texture for my bouquets. Like usually it's like the rounded, like kind of level rose bouquet that's like typical for a wedding, but I wanted something that was more like natural, more textured, looked a little bit more wild. I also paid extra for what are those called, like the, you know, like the moms, they wear like a flower on their wrist. It's kind of like a bracelet. So I paid like an extra like 20 each for that. And I also paid for my dad and my father-in-law's flower, which they had like I think at the pocket of their suit jacket. But anyways, the total that I paid for additional add-ons was $325. Oh, and I forgot to add, the florist was able to provide the flower girl basket petals for free. So that was a really nice thing to do. So yeah, those were the additional add-ons that I added to the wedding package itself. But obviously I brought a few more things and I hired a few more vendors, which added to my cost as well. So starting with the photo booth. Now, originally the DJ company had a photo booth to provide, but they were gonna charge me like $1,000 extra for that, and I knew like I could probably find another vendor that would charge like half the price, which I did. So I went on thumbtack.com, and this is a pretty good website to find like local businesses or individuals. For a photo booth, I paid $549 as opposed to like the original $1,000 that the DJ company was going to charge me. So I also wanted to pay for live music during my ceremony because I realized that the price that the DJ company was charging me could have paid for like live musicians outside of their company. So I went on Thumbtack again and I hired 2 violinists that I found on the website, and they charged me $400 for 1 hour of music. And I think I talked about this in a previous vlog, but I brought my invitations from Canva. I just designed it with like a preset template and I printed it out with envelopes as well, and that I paid $36.50, and that was for 50 invitations and envelopes. You can also use Canva to make your place cards, which are pretty important for your guests so they know where to sit down. So I actually did not pay for my place cards because number one, we designed them on Adobe Photoshop. And number two, we printed them out ourselves and we just had to buy the printing paper, which was I think less than $20. But here you can see me customizing and looking through the options for the place cards. So for my 3 wedding dresses, I actually only paid for one of them because for the 2 dresses that were purchased from Taobao, my husband's brother graciously paid and gifted them to me. So if you're watching this, Michael, thank you so much. For both of those dresses, I was calculating the amount, and in American currency, it would be around $238 for those 2 beautiful dresses. I also brought that one dress from Poshmark for a really cheap price. I think in total I paid $40 for that, and it actually cost more for me to tailor it so that it could fit my petite frame. Now, makeup and hair. So this is actually one of the categories that I knew I wanted to spend more money on. I knew that I wanted to spend more so that not only me, but also my bridesmaids and my mom and mother-in-law could enjoy, nice makeup and hair that day. So I honestly found this makeup artist on Instagram, and the thing is she mainly worked on Chinese clients. Fortunately, she did speak a little bit of English, so I was able to communicate really well with her. But you just kind of have to know like which hashtags or like what accounts they use on Instagram, and it was a little bit hard to find her. But just do a lot of digging, do a lot of research, and I'm sure you'll find a good person that fits your needs. So in total, I paid $1,190, and this includes the trial session as well. And I would highly suggest you to do like a trial session because you do want to know if the makeup and the hair that he or she does on you is what you want. So I also spent money on an officiant. Now I technically didn't need an officiant because I was already officially married to my husband earlier, but I did want like a pastor there who would be able to speak on a Bible passage that I liked. So I paid a total of $217.75. So for the dresses that I brought for both of my bridesmaids and both of my moms, I think I mentioned this in a previous vlog, but again, I'll just show a little bit of where I brought them from. I brought them from Azazi, which is a pretty great site because all you really need to do is pick a color, and what I did was have my bridesmaids and my mother and mother-in-law choose the dresses they want. And my only requirement was to have floor length dress, and that is actually a filter on the website, so it's really easy to play around on this website. And the good thing about this site is that the dresses can be customizable. And just keep in mind that the measurements could always be a little bit off. So for most of the dresses, they fit my bridal party very well, but for my mom's dress, she was telling me that it was a little bit tight on like the armpit area, but she was still able to like move around and dance and be comfortable for most of the night. So for their dresses, I paid a total of $705.32. So for my husband and my father-in-law's suits, I brought them from a website that I really love to use regularly called Yoox. Now Yoox, just to give a brief background, it sells a lot of clothes, a lot of accessories, and even like home decor. And a lot of their things are like very good quality. They're from Italy, they're handmade, and if you're into like branding things like Burberry, Prada, I believe they probably offer discounted prices for those as well, especially when there's a sale, because Yoox does have really good sales sometimes. So I brought 3 suits for a total of $338.59, which I think is a really good price because if I had went out and rented, let's say, one tuxedo and had it customized, then it probably would have cost around the same price or even more. So obviously keep in mind, if you buy suits and tuxedos from Yoox, you're not going to have it tailored for you, so you're going to have to either do it yourself or go to a shop and have it tailored. So my wedding cake topper is customized, and if you know me well, then you know that I am super obsessed with karopi, and I knew that for my wedding cake topper I wanted karopi. So I found this picture online, and I found that it was actually from this like Japanese website that was based in Hong Kong. So when I reached out to the company, they quoted me with a price including shipping, which was pretty much like $400, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna pay $400. So what I did was I went on Etsy and I looked through a few sellers that did something similar, like wedding cake toppers using like clay, and I found one seller that I really liked. So all I did was reach out to her and I asked if she would be able to do the Keroppi one. And I just sent her a screenshot of the one I was looking for, and she was like, yeah, sure. And she charged me $100, which honestly I think, you know, if you don't have like a high expectation for your wedding cake topper, or you don't really care much about it, then yeah, you could have totally saved that money. But for me, I really wanted it, so I paid $100 for this wedding cake topper over here. So wedding decor, so that actually included the photographs and the photo frames that I had as decoration at my wedding venue. But here are some of the frames that I put around the venue. And you know, honestly, I didn't really pay much for it. I think the most money that was spent was on printing the actual photo, because number one, the frames we originally already owned. We just took out the original photo in there and replaced it with our photo, and I believe printing it probably cost like maybe $50-$60 for a big one. But you know, these photos, they look like pre-wedding / engagement photos, and I actually did not pay any money for it because fortunately, I am blessed to have a husband who is a photographer. So we basically took these photos either ourselves or we had family members behind the camera to help us. Now, wedding decor includes this wedding sign that I had, and honestly, I'm very proud of it because I worked kind of hard on it. So basically, I took my mirror from my room and I brought these adhesive stickers from AliExpress, and that was like $10. And my mirror, I think I bought it for like $30. So in total, this wedding sign is kind of like $40. So DIYing will definitely save you money, because I think if I had brought or rented or just hired someone to like make this decoration, it would have been a lot more expensive. So that is basically it. So if I add that all together, that is approximately $25,037.86. Give or take like $100, because there might have been things I missed, which I'm pretty sure I did. But that's pretty much how much I spent on my wedding. And I would say that's pretty average, or maybe even on the lower side, because unfortunately weddings here in New York are pretty expensive. And you know, if you're not from New York, please feel free to leave a comment and kind of just tell me how much weddings usually cost in your area, because I'd be curious to know if it's a lot cheaper or if it's more expensive in other parts of the country or in other parts of the world, really. I did not include how much I paid for gratuity because in my opinion that is kind of up to you. So a lot of people have asked me if I thought it was worth it to hold a wedding celebration. And you know, I think that's such a hard question, because even though I had so much fun celebrating with all my friends and family, I can totally see why people wouldn't want to spend this amount of money, because $25K could go towards your deposit for your very first house, or $25K could go to like a very, very nice honeymoon. And you know, if you decide not to have a wedding, I think it's okay, and because you know, it's ultimately up to you and your spouse, what you guys want and what you guys are able to do. I mean, you do you, and you know, don't mind what other people may say. So I hope this helped, and thank you for watching this whole video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!